Sure. Our colleague out in San Francisco, California, Ansar Hassan, it has done some reporting into how white law enforcement and white supremacy networks have correlated in their disparate treatment, not just of Asian Americans and black people, but also that extra layer of religious identity when it comes to Muslim Americans. Here's Ansar with his reporting now.
Many civil rights advocates say one thing is clear from Tuesday night's fatal shooting in Atlanta.
The suspect was taken into custody unharmed.
That matters, says civil rights lawyer Zahra Billu, because once again, it's an example of the difference in how law enforcement treat people of color.
Muslims are terrorists until proven innocent, and so we have not been afforded that right, innocent until proven guilty, in the same way that white suspects have been.
Billu is the executive director of the San Francisco Bay Area chapter of CAIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations, the largest Muslim civil rights group in the United States. She says she's concerned when law enforcement use words like domestic terrorism because it allows them to bolster arguments for additional resources and additional authority. Many Muslim Americans say they've experienced firsthand when that happens, from mosque surveillance to extra security checks at airports.
For the Muslim community, what this creates is a tension around wanting to believe that we can call law enforcement to protect us, and yet wondering and worrying that we cannot, in fact, trust them to do that job.
Professor George Bisharat says it's also impacted how Arab and Muslim Americans organize politically.
You know, I think it has a chilling effect on people's exercise of their political rights. In their civil rights of freedom of speech, for example. And I think it breeds cynicism about law enforcement.
Many civil rights advocates point out that mass shootings have been disproportionately perpetrated by white men, yet the lack of understanding and the media's framing of American Muslims around terrorism has led to more violence against those communities.
The solution has to lie with communities, to say we will not tolerate hate ideologies, we will not tolerate biased motivation, and we will root this out ourselves.
In San Francisco, Ansar Hassan for BNC.